Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Apparently today we are being joined by Lumpy. We're getting a nor'easter here today and I thought it would just be a good day to do a cozy Q&A with you. And I'm trying to settle this guy down and I literally feel like I'm transported back 25 years and I'm nursing a child because the way he is on this pillow. Have we taken our relationship too far, Lumpy? So on May 14th, I put on Instagram, ask me any questions. I do this probably once every 6 weeks or so. I like checking in and doing a little Q&A. So I got a lot of questions. I'm going to try to divide them between work and personal life. There are more personal questions this time than work related. So I'm looking over here at my computer because I have my questions over there from Instagram. So thank you to anybody who asked me a question. If you would like to participate in an upcoming Q&A, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at LORIBOSTONFOUND. Let me know if you like these videos because I will continue to do them. I've been really liking the conversation style videos, right, Lumpy? The challenge is going to be trying to sip my coffee, record, and keep this dog happy. I'm going to start with a question from Julia Rose. How can we boost sales? By the way, love your videos. Thank you, Julia, so much. I feel like I'm a tough person to give advice on boosting sales lately because my sales have been not so great. However, I think that recently I have just gotten back to basics. This month I have tried to list more, share more, and just be more consistent overall. I think it's really easy to lose sight of the tools that got me here. I do think that reselling is changing, so I think now more than ever it's really important to be consistent. How many listings you do every day or how much you share every day, I don't really think there is a magic bullet, and I think it's really personal based on your business and what your comfort level is, how much money you're trying to make. I'm at a phase now where between YouTube and reselling, I definitely make more of my income on YouTube and through sponsorship. So right now I'm actually really aiming for about $3,000 in sales per month. That has dropped, but I feel like if I made $1,500 in sales on Poshmark and $1,500 on YouTube each month, I would feel good about my business and still feel like I'm staying relevant. So what I'm doing to increase my sales is I'm listing more items. I'm also trying to take more offers. I just did a haul from Chicago and I feel like those items are selling really well. I really enjoyed that haul from Chicago, and not because I had anything crazy designer. I just felt like it was a solid bread and butter practical haul, and I'm finding that that is what is working for me right now. I think a lot of people are trying to save money. They're thinking more about the value in what they're getting. You know, I'm trying to offer valuable pieces with good quality fabrics from quality brands, and I'm trying to offer them at good prices. I think that being a little bit more lenient on the offers that come in has helped to boost sales a little bit. And I definitely think that listing consistently and sharing your closet helps. This video is not sponsored by Vendoo, but Vendoo did just incorporate a sharing feature, which is really great because if you pay for multiple platforms for sharing and then for cross-listing, you can eliminate the sharing app. What I really like about it, and I don't think I ever took advantage of with other brands, is I schedule my shares now. So I am consistently sharing my closet 6,000 times a day, or I'm sharing 6,000 items a day. So depending on how many items you have in your closet, that's going to look different to everybody. I have a little under 800. If you have 6,000 items in your closet, you will only be able to share your closet once. So it really will impact your business in different ways depending on how many items you have in your closet. But I have noticed just a lot more activity in my closet from sharing more frequently. So more likes, I'm sending more offers out, I'm getting more offers. This morning, I just sold an Afghan that we had had in our inventory for so long. It was absolutely beautiful. I listed it for $150. I got a $100 offer this morning on eBay, and that was just sitting in my inventory. So you can't sell anything that you haven't listed. I've noticed a lot of things selling that had been sitting in my inventory in bins unlisted. So list as consistently as you can, take some offers, send some offers, just be active on your platforms and buying things that people want. If you're unsure of what the trends are, you can always look at trend videos. I do it all the time and it really helps refresh what I'm looking for and what might be trending. And again, that's different for everybody. What a 50-year-old woman is looking for is different than what a 25-year-old guy is looking for. Know your audience, know your brands and what's selling, and I wish you the best. Reselling is really a grind. I always say it is simple to resell, but it is not easy to resell. It's a lot of work. So hats off to all of you hustling out there. Happily Ever Hope asked, What are your favorite and least favorite tasks in reselling? This is a very good question. I love the hunt, number one. And then when I find something that piques my interest, I love researching it, checking out comps, checking out where it was made, if it's vintage, who's the designer, just really digging in and getting to know a brand. And oftentimes, if I'm unfamiliar with a brand, if I find a piece that's interesting, I will just take it home. I say all the time that being curious is really, really important in this line of work. The more curious you are about brands, the more you research, I think the better you get at it. And then the better you get at identifying pieces that people will be interested in. I eventually ended up outsourcing one of the things that I like the least, which is managing inventory. And thank God I have Tina. She's been with me, gosh, I think it's going to be 3 years in September. And wow, has time flown by. And my business has completely transformed as far as the organizational piece goes because of Tina. I was really bad at that. I'm kind of a more creative, big picture person, and I'm not really great with the little details. And Tina's really great with the details. Staying organized with inventory is my least favorite task. It's been really great to have Tina. We're a great team. I feel like we use different parts of our brain. And together, we can move mountains, right, Tina? When we used to work together at American Girl, Tina would come in and she's like, it's the Caro and Tata team. And yeah, we had a really good time working there together. We still work well together today. So I'm really grateful for Tina. If you're trying to grow your business and you're at a place where you can afford to outsource things that are maybe holding you back, then you should consider it. I mean, my leg is asleep. I have to move it. This boy is heavy. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to stretch. It took me a long time to get to a place where I could afford to hire somebody, but then I realized that I was losing money by not having parts of my business in place that I was struggling with. So sometimes you have to invest in order to make more money, and that was definitely the case with Tina. Now I'm at the point where one of my pain points is editing, because I would like to be putting out more videos, but I'm kind of hyper-focused on my own editing. And if that's something that I could learn to let go of and outsource that, I might be able to pay someone to edit my videos, which would enable me to put out maybe 2 or 3 videos a week instead of, about 1, maybe 2 videos a week, or maybe like 6 in a month. If I could double what I'm putting out in a month on YouTube, that would help my income. I could do more sponsorships. I could bring more hauls to you, go thrifting, do all the things that I love and I feel like I'm good at, and then have somebody else editing for me. That eventually could make more money for me. But yeah, you have to decide what you love, what you don't love, what you can afford, come up with a plan and, go for it. Laura asks, liquidation update. Have you donated what has been sitting or still trying to sell? Great question. I am doing a little bit of both. As Tina and I go through bins, there are certain things we look at and we say, not worth selling, don't even relist it, just get rid of it. There are things we are finding in the bins, oh gosh, like the Afghan, and we realize this has a lot of value, get that listed. Then we're finding things that are like, this isn't harming anybody by being in my inventory, it's been here for a couple of years, let's adjust that price, delist it, relist it, and see if it can sell. So we continue to comb through. I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty right now. I have no death pile, but as we go through listings, or we go through bins, I should say, we always find more inventory. We're probably about 3/4 of the way through our bins, so that will even wrap up soon. And then I'm going to go a little bit deeper into stuff, not necessarily that I am sourcing now, but I want to start really amping up how many of my American Girl products that I sell. Okay, I was losing feeling in my legs. So I worked at American Girl for almost 10 years and I just have an absurd amount of stuff. I would love to start selling more of that. And I also worked for Creative Memories, which is a scrapbook company, like direct sales, for about a decade. I have a ton of that. I think as we get through my inventory, I'm just going to dig into my own personal stash and keep adding that way. Just a couple weeks ago, I think I sent out 40 or 50% off offers on anything that had been in my closet over 100 days. I'm kind of doing like a haphazard attempt at certain liquidation, but I'm not actively liquidating, but I still would love to be under 500 items. That's still a goal of mine. OGT for me asks, do you see overall reselling has slowed down? I personally have, but I don't think I'm the best judge of it because I am not actively gung-ho on my business. We have been traveling so much this year. I've had to put my eBay store on vacation so many times. I don't technically put it on vacation. I do a notification that I am away and that shipping will be delayed. And I typically don't close Poshmark either. I might shut it down for a day and then pick it back up. And then if somebody makes an offer, I just reach out to them and say, I'm away. I'll be shipping in a few days. But I do think that all of those little pauses while I'm not going on a complete vacation from either of the platforms, I think I did when I went to California because I was gone for 7 days. Then we went to Madrid. We went to Chicago. We're going back to California. If you're just tuning in for the first time, my husband got a new position within his job where he's been for 26 years. But it's something that requires visiting all of the major offices for his company in the United States, which has been really fun. It came at a perfect time in our life. He would have never done this job when the kids were little. In fact, he would have never even taken this position. But now it's been fun, but it's just a lot to juggle. I think that reselling has changed. I think that shopping secondhand has become second nature to a lot of people, which I think is a phenomenal thing. When I started my business in 2018, it really wasn't as common. It doesn't seem that long ago, but people were still commonly skeeved out by the thought of buying used clothes or actively looking for used clothes. Now I give thrifted items for gifts and people get so excited. I have friends who get disappointed when they don't get a thrifted gift from me. I think that the perception of thrifting has changed for the better. All right, I just realized that my microphone has been off this whole time and I'm so sad. At least we went from bad audio to better as opposed to starting out good and then losing the audio. I really hope we can do it. Actually, why don't we take a break now and talk about today's sponsor? On these gloomy, rainy days from home, I love to bake. I also love to have something baking when I have company coming over, and Wild Grain is so simple. Everything in their line bakes in 25 minutes or less. They go from frozen right into your oven. You don't even need a cookie sheet. It goes right on the center rack and you are in business. It's the first ever Bake from Frozen subscription box for sourdough bread, fresh pastas, and artisan baked goods. Unlike typical supermarket breads, Wild Grain uses a slow fermentation process that can be easier on your belly, richer in nutrients and antioxidants, and it can help lower blood sugar spikes. This was my second box, and of course, with every subscription, you get free croissants for life. Thank God, because they are my favorite. But you'll never run out of things to get because they are constantly updating their menu selection. You can get plant-based stuff. You can also get gluten-free items. What I love most about Wild Grain is that for every membership they get, they donate 4 meals to the Greater Food Bank of Boston. I love that this is a Boston-based company that also gives back to our community. Okay, so we have eaten the pasta, which is so good. I'm an Italian American. I make my own pasta, and I was honestly really impressed with their frozen pasta. It was just rigatoni's. I don't have it here because we've already eaten it, but we did it with like a vodka sauce, and it was so delicious. Perfectly al dente, just like I like my pasta. I also have these chocolate avalanche croissants. These are giant snickerdoodle cookies. Also not for you, Lumpy. I can't say enough about Wild Grain because I really feel like it just takes one little thing to make a dinner really special. If I'm just making like a basic Caesar salad, if I pull out some hot baked croissants, it completely transforms any meal. My husband has informed me that even if I'm not working with Wild Grain, we will never go without their sourdough bread. We've largely stopped buying grocery store bread, and it's just the two of us for right now. So if we want something, we can pull these out of the freezer and bake them up. Yesterday, I had a friend come over and she was vegan, and even though I didn't order a vegan pack, the sourdough bread was vegan safe for her, and she enjoyed it with a cup of coffee. I also made some croissants, which are not vegan friendly, but they are very Lori friendly. After they're baked, I just keep them in the refrigerator, and if I want to have them with a cup of coffee or tea or with some fruit, I just pop them in the microwave for like 15 seconds and they are delicious. If you would like to check out Wild Grain, be sure to click the link in my description. You'll get $30 off your first box. Plus you will get free croissants in every box. You will not be disappointed. So I was talking about sales slowing down and my part in just approaching my business differently. I think there are some great creators who talk about reselling as like a full-time business and they are like full speed ahead. I think Kaylee Lane does a really great job talking about systems putting in place if you want to like really grow your business as a reseller full-time. I am definitely slowing down and I'm happy to slow down. Reselling will always be a part of my life. And as far as has reselling slowed down, I don't necessarily think that as a whole, it has slowed down. I think that prices have come down in certain categories. I think you have to hustle a little more than I'm hustling to make this a full-time career. And I think that it's a lot more common now. So I think it could just be more saturated than it is slowing down. But I'm really curious what you all think about it. I think the recycling of clothes is a phenomenal thing. So I'm happy to see a lot of people doing it. I think it can put a lot of pressure on you if this is your full-time income and nothing else is supplemental. So that's why at the very least, I think that everybody should be cross-listing, because I think the more eyes you can have on your items, the better. Angie Piat asks, what is your favorite brand? This is a tough question for me. My favorite brand to thrift or my favorite brand in general? I don't know if I have a great answer for either one of those questions. I will say I've been really loving Vuori lately. There's one on Newbury Street. I found these pants that I'm wearing right now. They're like the ultimate travel pants. They are so lightweight. It was the first time in a bit that I just went into a store and paid full price for something. I think that as a thrifter, it says a lot when I'm willing to pay full price for something in the clothing arena. I am not like super loyal to one brand. I feel like I'm more loyal to shoe brands. Like I love New Balance and I love Birkenstocks. A lot of my wardrobe is Lululemon. This top is Lululemon, but these Vuori pants, oh my gosh, they're to die for. I can't wait to travel with them. They're so lightweight. I don't even know what the name of them is. They said it was a new line in their store. I think Vuori is a great brand to sell as well. Madewell is still a brand that I personally really enjoy. It's not the best for reselling, but I love Madewell style. I like Marine Layer. And as far as handbags go lately, I've been really, really loving Coach. Everything about what they're doing right now excites me. I love seeing where the company is going, and I love that it has made such a comeback and that right now it rivals some of the huge fashion houses. It's so nice that an American company is doing so well and managing to put out such beautifully constructed pieces without price gouging like companies like Louis Vuitton and Chanel. I think this might be the last question about work. How do you know what stock photos you can use in a listing? Amy Inc. asked that question. I actually don't know which stock photos I can use. I am rolling the dice every time I use a stock photo. I've probably had 4 listings taken down in all of my years on Poshmark. eBay is a little bit more strict. Let us know in the comments if you know of brands that are strict. I feel like North Face has taken down some of my stock photo pictures listings on eBay. Chico's, I think, did once. If you use stock photos on eBay, you can get what is called a Vero, and I think it goes against your rating. Like eBay is pretty strict about the standings you are in based on your performance as a seller. What I try to do is, if I'm going to use a stock photo, I sometimes put it as my second photo. So the first photo is mine, and then the stock photo is used as, you know, a way for people to see what it might look like. That is dicey territory. You're really not supposed to use stock photos. It just seems that sometimes you get a better return on an item when that has a stock photo. Not always. You should definitely tread lightly because some platforms enforce that rule more than others, and some brands are much more strict. So I'm definitely a little bit more careful on eBay. Okay, we're going to transition into somewhat personal questions. This is a little bit work related. Are you going to do any more Slow Fashion Friday videos? It's going to take me longer to answer these questions if I keep eating this. I have a really major declutter video coming out, and I think I may have talked about this in my last video. I still have my personal closet, which I haven't decluttered since the pandemic. So it's been 5 years. It was 5 years in April. And as you know, I've been on this health journey as I down my croissant. But I am really looking towards having a capsule wardrobe and just really loving the pieces of clothing that I own. For many years of my life, I would try to get clothes that I loved, but I often ended up wearing clothes just because they fit me, not because I loved them. And it wasn't that I couldn't find clothes that I loved. I had my own personal hang up on buying plus size clothing when I was clearly plus size. I wish I had embraced my body at every step, but I didn't. I would just buy stretch pants instead of buying a size 16. Okay, I think I need to put the croissant away. So that's going to be a major decluttering, and I'm going to be going through like my walk-in closet upstairs in the back part of my bedroom, emptying all of my drawers, which is what I did 5 years ago, and just really assessing what I want. So there'll be decluttering there. The other thing is, and I know I've been talking about this for almost as long as I talked about my basement, I have to get new floors at our house, and that is going to force me to declutter certain areas again. Yes, there will be some Slow Fashion Friday videos, which is where I kind of pick an area of my house and declutter it, and there's usually a before and an after. That's a topic that I think is helpful for everybody. My friend Lisette asks, how are you feeling and when are we going for coffee? We have been trying forever to get together. Somebody just posted a picture of like the whole Boston, Rhode Island crew at the New Hampshire bins from 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like forever. I would love to connect. Lisette, hit me up. We have to figure something out. We always do this and then we never get together. We wanted to get our moms together. They're born a couple days apart. That Josie Grossi, fun name, asks off topic, but favorite album, artist, song. Ooh, okay, this is actually fun. When I'm in my car now, I feel like I just listen to podcasts and I listen to YouTube videos, and I have not been into music, but when I was in Madrid, my son Anthony played for me a video by the artist Role Model, and the song is called Sally, When the Wine Runs Out. Oh my gosh, do yourself a favor, go watch the video. It's so much fun. It's such a catchy tune. I have not like obsessed over a song and listened to it over and over and over and over in a long time. And this song is just a feel-good song. I even played it for my 75-year-old mom, and she's like, I really like that. It's just got a catchy tune. The video's fun. Role Model is from Maine. I did a deep dive. He actually dated Emma Chamberlain for a while, and so I watched like a bunch of their interviews together. I really love that song. And then he sings another song that was like a love song to Emma called A Little More Time With You, and she directed it, and so I really like that song too. So he is definitely somebody I'm really into right now. Overall, my favorite artist has been for decades Dave Matthews. Jay and I went with friends to see Dave Matthews live in Mexico, February of 2024. Unbelievable. Like, it was 3 days of Dave Matthews concerts. I've probably seen him like 15 times. First time being the year we got married in 1995. He played at an outdoor venue in Hartford, Connecticut, and we were living there. My husband saw him on Saturday Night Live perform Ants Marching, and he came home and he was like, this guy's awesome. We got married in June. We came home for our honeymoon in July. We saw Dave Matthews for the first time then, and that was it. We saw him at Cow Palace when we lived out in California. I saw him in Oakland on Halloween. That was a crazy show. I saw him when I was so pregnant for Rocco in Mansfield here in Massachusetts. I remember going to the bathroom and they were just like the funniest, nicest drunk girls. When I walked into the bathroom, they're like, pregnant woman, everybody get aside. And they like literally, it was like the parting of the sea. And they let me go to the bathroom because I was like very close to giving birth to Rocco. We saw him at the Garden. I mean, I love Dave Matthews. So definitely my favorite artist. And I couldn't pick my favorite song from him. There are just too many, but I love Role Model right now. I am Heather Beach said, I loved your YouTube video about turning 50, reset basement carpet. You are an inspiration. Oh my gosh. Thank you so, so much. I had a lot of really beautiful feedback from that video. I do want to lean into that a little bit more. When I look at my audience, I feel like I have a lot of people who may be looking at becoming empty nesters, or they are empty nesters. There was definitely a time, actually somebody else said, Sugi Bunch asked, how are you dealing with empty nests? So I can kind of talk about these together. Lumpy, come over here. I'll rub you. Come on, you be a good boy, okay? There was a time where I was terrified to have an empty nest. Before I started reselling, I worked at my daughter's dance studio. My daughter was a competitive dancer. I was a dance mom in every sense of the word. I worked at the studio at the front desk. We did all the competitions. We traveled. We went to nationals at Wildwood in New Jersey. Some of my closest friends in the world I made while I was a dance mom. To this day, they're still my best friends. And then my daughter quit. She got injured her junior year, and then she quit dancing, and my whole world fell apart. I talked about this at length on this channel. And so after that, I had to figure out what made me happy. And that's when I started reselling. So I didn't start reselling until I was 45 years old. I dabbled in it quite a bit my whole life, off and on. But that's when I started doing something for me and thinking of this in terms of a career. I used to be a special ed teacher. I only taught for 4 years, but I have my master's in special ed and my undergrad in special ed. It's funny because I felt kind of isolated as a special ed teacher sometimes. I always had like a separate room, and really the only socialization I got with other adults else was like the lunchroom for half an hour. And even then, my kids sometimes required more assistance and I would have to like stay in my room when my kids ate lunch. And it's funny because YouTube can be kind of isolating as well, but at least I feel like I get to talk to you virtually. I think that moment was really pivotal in preparing me for empty nest because it forced me to kind of think of what made me happy. I think just because Jay and I had kids really young, we got married. I was 21 years old when I got married. I had Anthony at 25, Angie at 29, and Rocco at 31. So I feel like Jay and I were pretty young when we became empty nesters. We still had a lot of things we wanted to do. Okay, are you good? Are you happy now? We still had a lot of things we wanted to do. I really think that buying this condo has been really great for Jay and I, and the fact that we are in a position where we can travel together. And our kids really push the boundaries. They're always all over the place. We really wanted to raise independent, curious kids, and boy, did we ever. We visit New York all the time because Anthony's there. And Jay's work brings him there sometimes. I would have probably never gone to Spain if the kids didn't live there. We went to Italy when Anthony studied abroad there. And then we kind of got the travel bug. So we just like exploring and it's really fun. And I don't think you have to travel international to explore. There are so many road trips that you can take or, you know, just kind of reconnect with each other. And I think Lumpy really helps as well because we have a really good time. And I think just having hobbies for yourself and having a strong group of girlfriends. Like, I don't know what I would do without my girlfriends. They are really important to me. So empty nest has not been bad. In fact, the kids are coming home in June and we're just wondering what that's going to look like. I think Angie's going to live here in Boston and try to work here. Rocco has some classes he's going to take up in Maine, so he's going to try to get a job up there. But there's a lot that we don't know. And our life right now is so predictable. Even though we're traveling and stuff, it's still just Jay and I. And then when the kids come home, it's just going to be different. So we're really looking forward to seeing them. But empty nest life has been good to me. No complaints. CC1992 asks, how are you enjoying reading so far? So I made a commitment this year to read a little bit more than I have in the past. And in fact, I started a book club on my second channel, Time with Tata, and we just had our first meeting last week. We read the Thursday Murder Club. And it was really fun. I find that for me, Audible is my friend. I definitely am undiagnosed ADD and I have a really hard time focusing on a book, but what works really well for me is listening to audio and then also having a book as a backup. When I get ready in the morning, when I'm putting on my makeup, after I get out of the shower, I like to listen to audiobooks. So that's how I consume a lot of my books. I'm getting ready to put out the vote for our summer book. I pick 5 books and people can choose from that. So you can follow me over on Time with Tata on Instagram. And I think Time with Tata on YouTube also is where I'll post in the YouTube community tab what the books are so everybody can vote, and then we pick one. The Thursday Murder Club, that was a really fun read about a group of senior citizens who have a weekly group where they try to solve true crime and then somebody is murdered, so they pursue like a real investigation. I'm trying to get him settled. Are you good, baby? I love you. So their club, they typically look at cold cases. So this is a real murder that they're investigating. Jacqueline Rose said, no question, but you are glowing and I love following your journey. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. So nice. Those kind of comments make my day. Thank you. I don't always feel like I'm glowing even a little bit, but I have been feeling much better these days. This is a really great question. A Go-Go Vintage asked, any updates on Jay's Tiki J business? Speaking of liquidating, we are going to sell all of our Tiki J merchandise at 50% off. We love Tiki J so much. But as you know, we have a lot going on these days. And one aspect was a major aspect of Tiki J that we grossly overlooked. I didn't overlook it, but I also knew I wasn't really in a position to nurture it, and that was marketing. Our marketing was non-existent. I think we have a phenomenal product and a great business plan and concept, and we just don't have the time to put into it that it needs. So we've offered it to the kids, even if it eventually went to Tiki Tata. I think that has a ring to it. We could make it a family business. Or for those of you who don't know, my husband's really into Tiki culture, and he started an exercise line of clothing. He was really into Peloton for a while during the pandemic, and he used to take the live classes, and he noticed that everybody was just in black. I mean, hello, his wife is always in black, and he just likes bright colors and stuff. And he thought, wouldn't it be cool to have like a Hawaiian shirt themed
exercise wear. So we worked with an American company in Connecticut. It's just really expensive to have stuff made in the United States. I mean, this is something that's, you know, a hot topic right now. Because of it, we had to charge, you know, probably triple or 4 times what we could have if we worked with a cheaper brand. We loved the guy who made them for us. We found artists. This one woman, I think she was from Portugal, did most of our patterns, and she was just fantastic at like textile patterns, imaging. So the whole concept behind Tiki J was to have fun exercising, but also not take it too seriously. We had 4 different patterns, I think, or maybe 3. Maybe we had 3 different patterns. We had the original Tiki J, one called the Midnight Run. And every time you bought one of our shirts, we had long sleeves, short sleeves, and sweatshirts. Most of the sweatshirts have sold out. You would get a recipe that went with your pattern. And we really want to expand. Like, the kids thought we should do tank tops. That was feedback that we got back. We could do shorts. We could do so much with it. I'm like barely getting by with my current business. So we're going to sell all of this stuff half off at my website, LORIBOSTONFOUND.com. If you're interested, let me know. I don't even know if we will make the adjustment to the prices before this video goes live, but I will try to do that. We're also thinking about bringing them over to Poshmark and eBay, but if we do that, we can't do 50% off. We'll just lose money. We could do 30% off. When Poshmark and eBay take their fees, we'd be at about 50% off, but it would probably be best to go through our website. We need an updated inventory, but once we get that, I think we'll mark down the prices. Maybe I'll have Tina work on that next week. I love Tiki J. We just have not made time for it. I think it would be a really good retirement project. Jay has mandatory retirement at 60 and he's 52. So maybe when Jay retires, we'll come back really strong with Tiki J. KNA 220 asks, what spawned the transition to Boston? Are you loving city life? We absolutely love living in Boston, more than I ever thought. We get super excited, like when we're cleaning up the house and we're getting ready to go to Boston. Like, it just feels like an adventure every time. And I love that it's only 26 miles from home. For so long, we talked about getting a place on the Cape or getting a place in Florida, and it just, nothing ever felt right. Jay's been commuting about 3 hours a day for 26 years, and he was just maxed out. It became really hard for him to commute into the city after COVID, when he was spending so much time at home with the family, and we have been saving for a really long time. We just kind of went for it. It feels like it happened really fast, but in fact, we had been talking about it for a long time, and Jay's like, you know, I have 8 more years of work. It would be really great for this kind of last leg to not have this kind of commute. It's not like I'm commuting home to be with the kids. They're not in school anymore. It's not like I need to be home for dinner at a certain time. So it was just the right place at the right time. We've always loved the city, and all I can say is I'm just so happy we did what we did. And I loved where we ended up too. It's only like 750 square feet. The fact that we have parking is huge. In fact, when we were looking in the north end of Boston, which is where we initially wanted to live, none of the condos we looked at had parking. We actually made a couple offers as well. I think that everything happens for a reason, because when I think back and I think if somebody had accepted one of our offers on those condos and I was going up 4 flights of stairs with a dog and no parking and all the junk that I carry with me because I do not travel light, it would have been crazy. I feel like my dad and Jay's dad was looking out for us when we got this place. It's just added to the adventures of this next season of our life, which we love. I didn't realize it, but that was our last question. So thank you so much for watching my Q&A. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. I will be back soon with a video from a citywide yard sale that I went to with my mom. I am also going back to California, unexpected, but Jay had to go to a client meeting out in California, so I decided to go with him. So I'll be back in Cali. I will definitely go thrifting again. Based on where I was last time, I got a few new recommendations, so I'm really excited about that. Thank you all so much for your support through the years. I love you. I love this channel. You guys mean so much to me. I will see you soon in the next video. Wishing you all the best. Take care. Are you happy I'm done filming? What do you want to do? Maybe we should get a walk-in before this nor'easter hits us. What do you think, Lumpy? Thank you again to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. If you'd like to check out Wild Grain, be sure to click the link in my description. You'll get $30 off your first box. Plus, you will get free croissants in every box.